operated handrails, no leaning with the handrails, no tobacco product including vaping and e-cigarettes. They've been banned from the Riverwalk by city ordinance. Well, the rules are no tobacco products at river level, no alcohol at street level. We do have enough life jackets on board for everyone should we need them. However, our record has shown we've never needed them. Please no talking on your cell phones during the tour today out of respect for other guests. Please no visiting or extended conversations, again out of respect for other guests. Just like going to the movies, everyone's paid to hear the tour today. We literally have folks from around the world coming to hear our tour. For your safety also, please no reaching up and touching low-lying groups. If you're taking pictures, feel free to use your flash for pictures, but not your light for video. Right above us here is the Robert Hegman Bridge, completed in 1941. However, we like to call this our Salina Bridge. Back in 1997, they produced the Salina movie here. Jennifer Lopez was the star. This bridge and Jennifer were in the movie. When they completed the movie, the bridge stayed. Jennifer and her money left. If y'all would like one of the best pictures on the Riverwalk, you may turn around. And you may take a picture of me and the Salina Bridge. Y'all can just call me Humble Dave. By the way, my name's David. We'll be together about 30 minutes, 2 miles. If you do have any questions, keep them to yourself. Feel free to ask at any time. Back to the tour. Here on my left, this is my left, will be my left the whole tour. On my left here is the Omni La Mansión del Rio Hotel. Back in 1853, this was St. Mary's All-Boys School. It evolved into St. Mary's School of Law. They outgrew the campus coming to the west part of San Antonio. This opened as a hotel in 1968, and the foyer of this hotel is a part of the original 1853. Opened in 1981. However, before they could begin construction, they had to do shadow testing. They did not want to cast their shadow when the Alamo set, so after the testing was done, they limited this hotel to 16 stories. So now if the sun is shining, it says Jamie on the secret. We're only about 70 yards from the Alamo. Right across the street from the Hyatt Regency.
You what, baby?
We got some live music down here tonight on the bench right here on my left.
Put your person on the floor.
The bridge on my right side, 6-story red brick building here on my right. This is called the Casino Club building. It opened in 1927 as a private club built by the German business community. Today, the bottom 2 floors here house the restaurants. Top 4 floors are apartments. And you're more than welcome to rent one if you don't mind being on a 20-year waiting list. This part over here is called River Square, renovated in 1972. Here we have a variety of restaurants that offer inside and riverside dining. balcony. As we go by on the balcony, you see the name R. Beckman for Robert Beckman. He was the architect of the Riverwalk, the first one to have an office on my right side at the completion of the park in 1941. They actually constructed the Riverwalk here between 1939 and 1941. Here on my right side with the colorful umbrellas is Casa Rios. We call them the pioneers of river dining and boating. They were the first restaurant on the river back in 1946, and back then they gave their customers boat rides with them. My wife and I have been eating at this restaurant for a little over 44 years. Yeah. My wife and I, we've been married for a little over 44 years. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I've lived in San Antonio a little over 44 years, yeah. And I'm just a little over 44. Jeez, I love it. One, two, three. So we just left the natural flow of San Antonio River, natural, not man-made. The Riverwalk is literally built around the natural flow of the San Antonio River. This part over here, however, is man-made. Concrete bottom, concrete sides, made back in the 1960s to accommodate the 1968 Hemispheric World Fair. They actually used extension here in 1968 to boat people back and forth between the Riverwalk and the fairgrounds, which today we call Hemisphere Park. Today we use extension for our boat too.
Dive into the water, and he's using his wings underwater.
In front of the boat here, high in the sky, red letters, colorful lights, says Marriott. Back in 1985, before they could begin construction on the Marriott, had to move the hotel that sat there. The hotel that sat there was the Fairmont Hotel. It opened up in 1906, had a historical designation. Therefore, they could not demolish the hotel and haul it off. They had to haul it off all in one piece. So they jacked up the Fairmont Hotel, three-story brick building, weighing approximately 3,200,000 pounds. Got the metal straps, put it on dollies and air-filled tires, inching it through the streets of San Antonio for 6 days between March the 30th and April the 4th, 1985. Setting a Guinness Book of World Records, largest structure moved through city streets on air-filled tires. Today it's set about 6 blocks from here, fully functioning, fully operating, 119 years old, Fairmont Hotel. Hey, directly in front of us here is a large statue all lit up. It's of an indigenous woman, she's gazing at the stars. The indigenous people believed gazing at the stars brought hope, health, comfort, peace, prosperity. They did much stargazing. This beautiful statue here, over 80 volcanic stones, Mexico.
Right here was depicted as holding the baby Jesus in the center on top of a Bible. He was a 12th century.
Don't shine that up, Dave. Please don't shine that up. High in the sky on my right with the moon beautifully up there. Radio Tower of White Lights, Tower of Americas. Built specifically for the 1968 Hemispheric World Fair. 750 feet tall, second tallest tower in the U.S. At the top is a restaurant and an observation deck. Restaurant revolves at the rate of 1 revolution per hour. Observation deck does not revolve, but you can walk all the way around it. And you can get up the tower by one of the 3 exterior glass elevators. Stairwell is 910 steps, however it's closed to the public. Those stairs were climbed back in 1981, 5 minutes and 18 seconds. If you'd like to challenge the record, you may do so. They have the competition to climb those stairs every January. I started up those stairs today. You can come back for me next July. Hey, this whole area back here is huge. It's our convention center. You only see a little part of it, but this is a huge convention center. Over 1,600,000 square feet. Right to my left is the trees up here. Beautiful mural, 130 feet long, 22 feet high. Made up of approximately 400,000 one-inch stone tiles, 11 different colors. 10 of those colors are all natural stones, blue glazed ones are not. Those stones were imported from 7 different countries. Name of the mural is The Confluence of Civilization. That was the theme of the 1968 Hemisphere World Fair. Confluence means coming together, bringing together. And back then they were celebrating the relationship that the United States has with Latin American countries. On either side of the boat here, we have sidewalks. Taking out the sidewalk is the breezeway in front of us here. Takes you directly to Hemisphere Park, Tower of Americas, and the Institute of Texan Cultures. We usually have a park police boat back here, but I don't see it this evening. Our park police are very, very nice. You know what's really cool about the park police? Well, they still don't recognize me. Well, I wear the hat, never look them in the eyes. Yeehaw! Uh-oh. Shh. There they go. Uh-oh. Thank you for me. Wait, let me out. Hey folks, this time as we go by the mural, it'll be on my right side. As we go by, you're going to notice that it sits on the Lila Cockrell Theater building. Lila Cockrell was San Antonio's very first female mayor. Citizens really liked her, voted her in for 4 terms. She served off and on from the late 70s to the mid-1940s. Well, I mentioned our convention center is huge, over 1,600,000 square feet. It opened in 1968. They named the convention center after Henry B. Gonzalez. He was the first American Hispanic voted into the House of Representatives, serving from 1961 to the late 1990s.
So big the place.
That's where we stayed. That picture where me and mom's in her ballroom get dressed.
I don't know that photo. Is it here? I don't remember that.
Coming out beneath the bridge here across the river on my right, opposite sidewalk, all lit up. You'll see a statue holding a baby across the river here. Statue here is of San Antonio de Padua, donated to the city of San Antonio during the 1968 Hemisphere World's Fair. Please, no lights for video. Hemisphere World's Fair. Donated by the country. Back in 1691, Spanish missionaries came through San Antonio. When they came through on the feast day of San Antonio. So they named the newly discovered river in honor of him, and our river's had its name for over 330 years. Prior to that, the name of this river was the Yanaguana River, which means restful waters or spirit waters, given that name by the Payaya Indians whom historians believe lived along the banks of this river for thousands of years. And to my right, above the trees up here, beautiful church steeple, St. Joseph's Church. They laid the cornerstone of this church back in 1868. Inside the church are some beautiful stained glass windows imported from Munich, Germany. No longer available. Glass manufacture was destroyed during World War II. Also in the church are some beautiful paintings by the third pastor of the church, Father Henry Peppercorn. The church was actually built by early German immigrants. Just before we go underneath the bridge, high to my right, street level, ready showing the sculpture up here, called the Torch of Friendship. Donated to the city of San Antonio in 2002 on behalf of the Mexican government, symbolizing the relationship the San Antonio and Mexico share. 65 feet high from river level, 45 tons, 30,000 pounds, torch of and in front of us here is a stone bridge. When we come out from underneath this bridge, we'll have left the man-made extension, and we won't have re-entered the natural flow. San Antonio, Mexico, and
90 miles. Good. So thank you. Smell a cigar.
Alright, the sky on my left up here says Hilton Palacio del Rio. Back in 1968, this hotel set a Guinness Book of World Records. Fastest built modular building. They built this 485 room hotel, 202 working days. While they were constructing the bottom 4 floors and elevator shafts here on the site, they were constructing all 485 rooms off site at the HP Zachary construction site, 8 miles south of San Antonio. Not only did they construct the rooms here off site, they also completely furnished the rooms. Beds, bedding, dresser, mirror, refrigerator. Everything those rooms needed was in them except for one item. TVs. Then they put the 70,000-pound rooms on separate flatbed trailers. Brought them to the site here, put them in place with cranes. Once the rooms were installed on the site, they installed the TVs in 1968. I have heard a rumor recently, though. Yeah, they upgraded the TVs. Got the little push button thingies in. They can call them remote.
That's pretty. I like the wood in 74.
All the crowns on it.
Okay.
In front of the boat ahead of us, going around the bend on my left, says La Vita, little village. Originally housing for Spanish soldiers in 1718. Today, La Vita, right up behind these restaurants, little village of arts and craft shops, artisan shop, beautiful boutiques open to the public. About 30 of them. Nice, quiet place. In front of us here is the Arneson River Theater. Seating for 800 on my left. The stage on my right here was in the movie Miss Congeniality starring Sandra Bullock. And above the stage here are 5 very important bronze bells. These 5 bronze bells are for the 5 missions on our missions trail. We have a beautiful missions trail in San Antonio, 10 to 12 miles long. You can literally hike it, bicycle it, drive it, see all 5 missions. 4 of them still have fans on a regular basis. Coming up on the right of the boat here is some Texas Longhorn cattle. They sit from the Briscoe Western Art Museum. Originally San Antonio City Public Library from 1930 to 1968. Inside the Western Museum, you'll find paintings, sculptures, saddles, spurs, Santana's sword, and Pancho Villa's last known saddle. Yeehaw! In front of us here is a very, very low-lying bridge. Again, please remain seated. You stand them up, you get them big-headed. Again, please no reaching up and touching low-lying bridges. Coming out from underneath the bridge, we'll be surrounded by huge, beautiful Montezuma cypress trees, many of which are well over 100, perhaps even 200 years old. And coming up on the right side of the boat here, we have some Texas Longhorn cattle. They sit from the Briscoe Western Art Museum. Originally San Antonio City Public Library from 1930 to 1968. Inside the Western Museum, you'll find paintings, sculptures, saddles, spurs, Santana's sword, and Pancho Villa's last known saddle. Yeehaw!
It's like travels by narrowboat.
Straight down the river here, all lit up. Nope, it's not a church steeple. It's actually the Bexar County Courthouse.
This is about like your knee.
Opened in 1897. Oldest continuously operating courthouse in Texas. High to my left with the flag beautifully above it here is the Tower Light Building. Opened in 1929. 30 stories, 404 feet high. The only octagonary sided high-rise in the United States of America. At the top, sticking out from the roof, are what we call gargoyles. Gargoyles are either humans or animals that are part of the roof drainage system. Water runs off the roof, out the mouth of the gargoyles, falls into a water filtration system. Below the windows here, you'll see these faces. You might say they look gross. It's because they're called grotesque, and the window trim is done in the neo-Gothic architecture. Say, do y'all remember the Ghostbusters movie? Yeah? Yeah, it's not the building. It's in New York City, baby. Yeehaw! Cha-ching! One for the boat guy. Coming out beneath the bridge here on my right side is the International Building here on my right. From 1968 to 1998, this was San Antonio City Public Library. It now houses offices for the governments of the United States, Canada, and Mexico. The archway in front of us here is floodgate number 4, which is below the water here. As we go through the archway, you see the marking of the floodgate on my right and on my left. San Antonio River naturally flows through this floodgate to my left, all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. And our beautiful San Antonio River is actually 240 miles long. For safety purposes now, I'll be honking my horn. Coming off beneath the bridge here, down the river to my left, floodgate number 5. It's closed, maintains the level of the water in our park. We can't see back there because it's dark, but at floodgate number 5, 15 to 20 foot drop off. Why me and my boat are going this way. Right above us here is a bridge. On the bridge, chain link fence. On the chain link fence, glistening in the lights are locks. Wedding chapel up here. Couple go in the chapel, have their ceremony, say their vows, come out, put a lock on the fence, and drop the keys in the river. A couple of weeks ago, some guy was out here looking for his keys. Yeehaw! We just came out of what's called the River Bend area, 1921. We had a very serious flood down here. Claimed to 50 lives that we know of and millions of dollars in property damage. So between 1926 and 29, they dug out this man-made portion of the river here called the flood bypass control channel. It's only deep by the river, 15 to 20 feet deep. And they put in floodgates 3, 4, and 5. So now there's a potential flood. They can actually close floodgates 3 and 4 to the River Bend area. They can open floodgate 5 behind us. The water comes rushing through here, sparing the River Bend area. And in front of the boat, about 4 miles north of here, is the Incarnate Word University campus. On the campus is the spring from which the San Antonio River originates. That spring is fed by the Edwards Underground Aquifer, which is an underground limestone lake, 180 miles long, 5 to 30 miles wide. Some parts of the aquifer, they've never found the bottom, it's that deep. And the aquifer supplies the San Antonio metropolitan area with its water. Right above us here, right in front of us, all lit up, is a huge cypress tree about 9 stories tall. Estimated to be between 300 and 400 years old. However, as the story goes, back in 1835, Spanish soldier, sniper, climbed this tree, shot a Texan soldier named Ben Milam, then called the Ben Milam tree ever since. Right above us here is floodgate number 3, pocket door style gate, weighs 3 tons, 6,000 pounds. 15 minutes to lower, 15 minutes to raise. So we're leaving the man-made flood bypass control channel, 15 to 20 feet deep. We've re-entered the River Bend area. We're now back in the natural flow of the San Antonio River, where for most parts of the river, just 3 to 5 feet deep. On the right side of the boat here, hanging down white letters, says the Esquire Tavern, oldest tavern on the Riverwalk. Opened up back in 1933, the very day, the very minute that they lifted prohibition. 10 minutes earlier, they had all gone to jail. 10 minutes earlier, it's a barber shop. Yeah, right. Rumor has it, they sold their last illegal drink at 11:59 p.m. Sold their first legal drink 12:01 a.m. December 5th, 1933. They do boast of having the longest wooden bar in Texas, 108 feet. Folks, I hope you enjoyed the tour today. Hope it's fun and actually is informative. Please remain seated while I dock inside down the boat. Now's a good time to look around, gather all your things. If you do happen to leave something on the boat, it's really not a problem. Feel free to look for it on eBay and the home. Again, folks, my name is David. For a job well done to our drivers, really do appreciate your tips. Thank you so much. Please remain seated. We accept cash, cash out, and Venmo.